Steve here with Table Rock Tea Company. Today I'm doing some maintenance on our fogger nozzles, or I guess technically speaking, the Dramm Fogg-it superfine 1/4 gallon per minute misting nozzle. After a little while you get some deposits that build up in these fine mist heads, and so you have to take them apart and clean them. So I'm going to show you how I do that. Not really difficult here. I use bleach. I've got 50-50 bleach solution, and what I'm going to do is basically remove these and clean them with just a normal toothbrush. That's it. So you just take them apart, scrub them, and I'll show you what that looks like when you take them apart. But that's it. You brush it, get rid of all the gunk, clean any algae or any buildup that's accumulated in there, and hopefully we'll be back to the fine misting pattern from the beginning. So for this, I've got my table vise and I've locked the fogging head into it so I can get these off. This is a 1/2 inch socket, and you just put it on here like so and remove them. They're pretty tight to start, but then you end up just taking them apart. Let's see, I got this one. Like I said, these have been here for quite a while, so pardon the awkwardness. But we will take these apart. And once the head comes off, I'll show you what this looks like here. You can see this is a very fine head, and this is a very tiny misting hole for this particular model. And here, this is what this looks like. Just a little bit of a built-up crud. So we're going to go ahead and take all of these off. You can see I've got 8 of them to work on here. I'm just going to drop them in the solution. These are all interchangeable. They're all the same model. So I'm just going to go ahead and strip these, take them apart, take all the gaskets out, and then just let them soak for a little bit before I scrub it and put it back together. Here I've removed all 3 of the misting heads, and I'm going to go ahead and pull out this gasket as well. That's just going to be a little bit tight, but you want to get those out and maybe reposition them. So I just pry it out with a regular flathead screwdriver. Put that back in there. I don't think the screen comes out, and I don't think this actually splits in half. There's no seam here. This looks like it's all one piece. So I'm really hesitant to, I don't want to, well, I guess the screen does come out. There you go. So you can just push that screen out, and that'll let you access the entire thing. And yeah, so we'll just give it a good cleaning after it soaks in the bleach for a little bit. So here's a good example of showing you what happens to these. I'll try to point it out here with this, but right here, this hole is nice and more or less open. This one though is sort of crudded over with probably deposits, mineral deposits from the water source. This one, you can see, really has a lot of crud on it, and that's what's going to stop the flow. You're only talking about a 1/4 gallon per minute on these nozzles, so if that gets clogged up, it's going to make your mist pattern really lousy. So you can see there's all this white film deposit on here, and these holes are almost completely covered up. So that's going to greatly decrease the performance. And these are kind of expensive heads, you know. They're definitely worth investing some maintenance into, probably every year. Maybe during winter when you're not using them is a good time. I did want to point out that even though I am using this socket wrench, these are not threaded, okay? If you look in the barrel, these are just a really tight press fit. So you're really just using this to loosen them, but you can run into some that don't behave very well. So like that thankfully broke free. You can see all that deposit on there, but this one has been giving me some grief, and that's going to happen. I think the best way to do it is to kind of do it quickly, but it doesn't really back out. So I may actually have to get under there with a screwdriver, a flathead or something, and pry it up as I move it. So Like I said, these are not threaded, they're just a really tight press fit. Nevertheless, you can get them free using the socket wrench. What I don't want to do is just pry up on one side and try to pop this out, because what you're going to end up doing is damaging, you'll damage the cylindrical nature of this. You want to keep this nice and smooth and ding free. Almost treat it like the cylinders in an engine, you know. You want that to come out smoothly and keep everything intact as a perfect circle. So after these have soaked for a while, you're just going to take the individual components and we're going to brush their teeth a little bit. So get all the places inside and all of the underneath. You can kind of see there's a little bit of a ridge. This is where the screen is going to sit, and right under here as well. So you kind of want to make sure you get all of that. I've got a dental pick that works really nice. That's helpful. But yeah, so all the crud, you want to get all that white junk out of there. And you may have to leave this soaking for, you know, 48 hours or something like that. You can also use, I guess, like a, what do they call those? Pipe, you know, those pipe cleaner. Those work for getting into those places as well. I think I got that one pretty good. Maybe a little bit up here. So I'll just get that. And then you're going to just start assembling it back together. I'll show you how that's done in just a second. Again, with these not being threaded, what I'm going to try to do is insert these still using the socket wrench but going clockwise to kind of semi work as a screw. But like I said, since it's not threaded, it's not a true screw or a bolt. But I may end up having to like get them started, putting a block of wood and then hammering them down with a mallet to seat them in place. We'll see how it goes. These nozzle pieces are the real crucial part. You want to make sure that that center hole is going to be nice and clear. There's no buildup there. You don't really want to go poking down into there, but I guess if you take like a push pin or something like that, you could do it. And then here, this is the part that really matters the most. So you can see we've gotten rid of all of the crud. This is just some water, and that lets it so that this is now open. The hole actually goes that way. You can see this is a little like, almost like a an intake, so to speak. But the hole actually goes in on the side there. So that's where the difference is in your gallons per minute comes in, is how they design these particular holes and how the water will enter them under pressure. So yeah, these are the important parts to get clean. Okay, so after some experimenting, it looks like press fitting these is going to be the way to go. So you'll just put this on a nice flat surface and just go ahead and gently with your thumb press it in until it can't go anymore. Do the same thing here, press it in with your thumb. And then what I'm going to do is take a wooden block and put it over it, hit it with a hammer that way. You don't ever want to just hit the brass directly with the hammer, you'll ruin it. So we're just going to do that and see how it goes here. Okay, actually didn't go all that great. So let me try this with the screwdriver. Hey, at least it's an honest YouTube channel, right? So what we'll do is, nope. So yeah, we're gonna have to press fit it because going at it with a socket wrench doesn't work. So that's interesting. I'll just have to figure out how to do that best. I'm still of the opinion that you tamp it, but I think I'm gonna have to hit it a lot harder than I expected. Yeah, so they're just starting to come down now. So, all right. We'll just do a couple more whacks with that wooden block, and I think we should be good to go. Okay, so I finally got smart. I have a vise, and that, I think, is the best way to seat these nozzles in place. I'll try to get it here. But so basically, I will do this and just press fit it once you have it hand tight. You can kind of see. Not too tight, but just so that it's nice and snug. And all of them are down. That sure beats hammering it. It'll keep things even, and it won't make anything wonky. So hopefully that'll do the trick. Okay, so I have my nozzle assembled and everything's fit together. So we're gonna take a walk down to the greenhouse and I'll do the final test. Hopefully this will do a nice misting. Sorry for the bumpy ride here. I don't have a gimbal on my phone right now, but soon. So anyway, there's a tea field behind me here, one of our newly planted ones. Got a African, actually it's an India Mark II hand pump on there. For those of you who don't know, we used to do, still kind of do, water projects all over the world, Hydro Missions International, doing water wells and things like that. So yeah, so anyway, we're gonna go into the greenhouse. I'm gonna test it on my germination plants, and hopefully we'll finally rehab all of these misting nozzles, because like I said, these are expensive. You know, it's pretty heavy duty brass, so we'll see how it goes. All right, so the moment of truth. We'll turn this on, and yep, a nice foggy mist. That's what we want to see. So yep, I'll just turn that off, and hopefully that'll help salvage some of those fogger nozzles when they get clogged up. So one other thing too, I'll turn around here. If you don't want to use bleach, you can also use vinegar, and that will actually really bind up with the junk. We used that after we did the bleach, and it I don't know, really helped a lot. So like I said, just not apple cider vinegar, I don't think, just your sort of white distilled vinegar. So hopefully that helps. A little tip for you in the greenhouse. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what else is brewing here at Table Rock Tea Company.